Busy class this morning. Okay, so as you come down, maybe just bringing the blocks underneath the feet. And we will start, as always, with a couple of pelvic tilts just to find our positioning. So coming down, the legs are bent, the feet are on the blocks. There's your little bit of space in between the thighs. Even if you want to run your finger down from the center of the knee down to the hip bones, just making sure that the legs are hip width apart. And then take your little Pilates compass, bring your thumbs to touch, your first fingers to touch, bringing that down onto your pelvis. The heels of the hands will rest on your hip bones and the fingers will reach down towards your pubic bone. And a couple of tilts forward and back. As we tilt backwards, we're bringing the pubic bone higher than the hip bones and the lower back melts into the mat. As we tilt forwards, the hip bones come higher than the pubic bone and the lower back lifts off the mat. So just gently tilting forward and back, just getting some nice movement in the lower back and into the pelvis. And then finding a neutral central position where your hip bones and your pubic bone feel flat in one plane. So the hands should just feel flat resting on your pelvis. You're feeling your sacrum pressing into the mat. And then taking your hands, bringing your upper arms onto the mat and your elbows on the mat, just bringing them to the side of the body, bringing your hands onto the sides. So we're bringing our thumb to our 10th rib, first or second finger onto your hip bones. And then we're going to take 3 rounds of breath here just to find our rib to hip connection. So inhaling, breathing into the side and the back of the ribs, trying not to flare to the front. Exhale as you draw those ribs down towards the hips. We'll go for 2 more like that, breathing into the side and the back of the ribs, really pressing the rib cage at the back into the mat. Exhale as you draw those ribs down towards the hips, feeling the inner abdominals really engaging here. Last time, inhale into the side and the back of the ribs. Exhale as you draw those ribs down towards the hips. That's where we want to keep the rib to hip connection, that engagement of the belly. The pelvis is still neutral. Running your fingertips just along your collarbones or your shoulders, just to notice that the shoulders are nice and broad. The collarbones actually are gently smiling is what we say. So we're feeling that nice open shape across the collarbones, and the shoulder blades should be flat on the mat behind you. For our bridges, our arms are just going to be on the mat alongside us, palms are facing down. Before we start to lift up, just take our last little adjustment, lifting the head slightly so we lengthen through the back of the neck, slight tuck of your chin towards your chest. And remember, it's like a little peach underneath your chin. You're not trying to squash that peach. So we want to maintain that nice long neck at the back and that little bit of space under the chin. Okay, with the feet on the blocks then, we're coming up and down out of bridge. We're just going to do 4 nice gentle bridges to warm up the spine. When you're ready, take an inhale. As you exhale, tilt your pelvis, bring your body off the mat. Squeezing the glutes at the top. Take an inhale, exhale, slowly bring the body back down. We're getting a nice bit of extra elevation out of the blocks under our feet. We're going for 3 more. Inhale, exhale, tilt your pelvis, peel your body off the mat, resting on your shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes at the top. Take an inhale, exhale, slowly coming back down. 2 more just like that. Inhale, exhale, tilt your pelvis, peel your body off the mat, squeeze the glutes at the top. Inhale, exhale, slowly back down. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, tilt your pelvis, slowly peeling up. Okay, inhale, exhale, slowly come back down. We're going to add 2 more, and this time we're going to pause at the top and just get into a few little cues. Okay, take an inhale, exhale, coming all the way up, resting on your shoulder blades, hold at the top and keep breathing. Squeezing those inner thighs together, press your kneecaps forward, press your belly button back towards your spine, draw your rib cage down towards your hips, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, exhale, slowly bring your body back down. And last time, inhale, exhale, tilt your pelvis all the way back up into your bridge, holding at the top, still breathing. Squeeze those inner thighs again, press your kneecaps forward. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips a little higher, belly button back towards your spine, open through the chest and press your shoulder blades onto the mat, reach the fingers down towards your feet. Inhale and then exhale, slowly coming back down. Okay, when the pelvis comes down this time, take a little moment to move, maybe hug the knees into the chest or drop the feet off the blocks if you like and windshield wiper the legs. Right, feeling a little bit more warmed up in our spine now. We're going to move into a little bit more work in our bridges. So Blocks are still under the feet for this next one. We're coming into a set of hip dips next. So the hip dips are just where we're at the top of our bridge. We're just dipping the hips down towards the mat. They can barely touch the mat, or they can just hover just above the mat. And then we're squeezing the glutes to lift the pelvis nice and high again. The arms can stay on the mat alongside you with the fingers down towards your feet, or you can lift the arms straight up out of the shoulders, just reaching the fingers towards the sky, just to create a little bit more instability in the body if you want that challenge this morning. All right, up into our bridge then. When you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly coming up into your bridge. Remember all those cues now. Pressing your inner thighs together, kneecaps forward, belly engaged. Press your belly button back towards your spine. Keep your front of your body engaged, ribs down towards your hips. So the arms, as I said, on the mat, or reaching the fingers up towards the sky. Continue to bring that nice length at the back of the neck. Keep your chin slightly tucked in towards your chest. And then we're just dipping the hips down towards the mat and lifting them back up. So it's a dip of the hips and then squeeze the glutes to lift them back up. The rest of the body staying nice and steady. We're just dipping the hips and lifting back up. Well done, everybody. And those arms, if they're on the mat, really reaching the fingers down so that you get that nice engagement through the shoulder and the upper arm. If the arms are reaching up towards the sky, keep the shoulder blades nice and flat at the back of the body. Reach the fingers up nice and tall. Okay, getting a nice little bit of extra depth in our hip dips this morning with our blocks under our feet. Let's go for our last 5 and lift. Last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. All right, lifting to the top. If you had the arms raised, just lowering them back down to the mat. Take your inhale, exhale slowly, let the body come back down. Okay, again, once you reach the mat, take a little moment of movement if you need it. Hug the knees in, massage the lower back, or let the feet be on the blocks or beside the blocks and windshield wiper the knees. All right, we doing okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. We've still just got two left, yes. All right. Blocks are still under our feet. We're going to come up and do a little inner and outer thigh work with some opening and closing of the knees. So again, the arms can stay on the mat again, or you can reach the arms straight up for this one. And when we're at the top of the bridge, all we're doing with the legs is we're just dropping the knees as low as you can to the sides, and then squeeze the outer thighs to bring the legs back into the center. Okay, so it's just opening them as wide and then back to parallel. We're going to do that with the hips nice and lifted, so it is still a squeeze of the glutes to keep the body lifted. All right, when you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, slowly coming up. Keep the legs parallel. Press your belly button back towards your spine. Engage those glutes at the back of the body. Arms are on the mat or reaching the fingers up towards the sky. Keep that nice length in the back of the neck. Keep your shoulder blades flat on the mat. And then it's opening the knees as much as you can without dropping the pelvis, and bring the legs back to parallel. Now, taking this nice and slow, we want to move with control. We want to keep breathing, but we want to control the movement of the body. Remember, mat Pilates is all about that challenge of that control. We're challenging our control now by opening and closing the legs. The rest of the body wants to stay in control, wants to stay in stability. And we're creating this instability by opening and closing the legs. Keep the glutes squeezed, keep the hips nice and high. We're going to go for our last 5, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. All right, knees back to parallel. Drop the arms if we had them raised. Take an inhale, exhale, slowly bring the body back down. All right, last one that we're going to do today. We're going to take one block into between our knees or between our thighs, wherever feels comfortable. The other block can just go to the side of your mat. And we're just going to work into our obliques just a little bit while we're still on our back here. So find your positioning again. And then this time we're going to take our knees, bring them up over our hips. So bringing the legs to tabletop. Squeeze that block in between the inner thighs, and then we're just dropping the legs to one side and then bringing the knees back to center. dropping them just as much as feels comfortable, and back to center. Now try and keep your rib cage nice and flat on the mat. This twist is happening in the abdominals, in the obliques. Those obliques at the side of the body are letting the body fall to one side and then drawing the body back up. So we're trying not to raise the shoulders off the mat. Keep the rib cage nice and flat. Keep breathing into the belly. Keep pressing your sacrum to the mat in the center and the rib cage as well. Okay, let's go for last two on this side. Last two on this side. Last one. Last one. All right, back to the center. Drop your feet to the mat. Drop the block out to the side. Just keep them near your mat. We'll be coming back to some more backline work in a little while, but if you want a little bit of movement before we start to move to our next set, you're welcome to. Right, this morning next is going to be our side lying. So we'll all keep our head where it is, keep your feet where they are, and we'll lie to face the wall with the door in it. So when you come onto the side of the body, you can either extend the arm long, bring your head to rest on your upper arm, or coming onto the side of the body, bringing the forearm onto the mat, your palm facing down, stacking your elbow underneath your shoulder, and lifting through the side of the body if that feels more comfortable. I'll just demonstrate that one on the floor, because when I do it standing, some people find it hard to translate. So it's looking like this. And we're taking both legs bent to start. When you're bringing the legs bent, trying to find alignment of your shoulder, your hip and your ankle, so the knees are quite far forward, and we're bringing everything into one long line. Bring your feet together, your knees together, and then we're going to start with some clams. So maybe pointing the toes or flexing the feet, and then we're just lifting through the top knee and slowly lowering it down. Lifting and lowering, just that top leg working. Really nice. So trying not to roll through the pelvis, we're trying to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other. We're just moving into that whole hip area. Lovely. I might try the block underneath the rib cage for a little bit extra lift for you. Does that feel better? As long as you don't feel uncomfortable, I'll pop the blanket there too. So if we're lying on the side of our body and we're noticing that the rib cage is starting to drop down a little bit, I might just suggest popping a block underneath just to try and lift through that rib cage. The reason we do a lot of this work is on the side of the body is that we're working towards a more advanced setup. We want to try and find our alignment in the easier versions first. Okay, last three, last two, last one. All right, relax that leg, tap it out, massage it out, shake it out, anything else you need to do. And then we're going to take that clam and just build on it a little bit more. So this time, it's an open of the leg, extend the leg long, bring the feet to touch, bring the knees to touch. We haven't done this one in a few weeks. Open the knee, extend the leg, feet touch, knees touch. Take it nice and slow. Open, extend, feet touch, knees touch. We got that? Open, extend, feet touch, knees touch. That's it, nice and slow. Open, extend, feet touch, knees touch. Lovely. Open, extend, feet touch, knees touch. Let's go for last five. Extend, feet touch, knees touch. Last four. Extend, feet touch, knees touch. Last three. Extend, feet touch, knees touch. Last two. Extend, feet touch, knees touch. Last one. Extend, feet touch, knees touch. Okay, relax the top leg, massage it out, shake it out, anything else you need to do. We feeling alright? Alright, one last little set of clams and then we're going to take the leg long. Our last set of clams is just going to be with the feet elevated. So you're still in your same setup, but this time the feet are just coming off the mat. Just again, that little bit of extra instability, and we're just opening and closing through the top knee. Keeping the feet together and keeping that nice bit of stability in the legs. If the feet elevated feels too much for you, of course drop the legs just back down and just finish off with a few last regular clams. So take it nice and slow. If we're feeling like the body is having a lot of movement, Then it means we're going too fast. We want to slow it down, control the movement. Really great. Well done. Let's go for our last 5. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. All right, that was the last of the clams. Working those hip flexors. Okay, last one on this side. We're just going to work onto our leg sweep, so like almost like a paintbrush with that top leg. So the leg is coming up to about hip height, and then we're taking the leg forward, pointing the toe. We're using our heel to sweep it back. Forward with the toe, heel to sweep it back. Again, nice and stable through the body. This is just the thigh bone in our hip socket doing all the work. And as we take it back, maybe take a little pause at the back. Reactivate the glute and the hamstring. Squeeze those muscles at the back of the leg. And take your leg maybe in line with the back line of your mat, really pressing it. Nice and back. Okay. Your head is rolling forward, so you're getting a lot more movement. So keep your hips stacked. Bend the bottom leg for me. And then roll that hip there. And then we're lifting the leg here. And then we shouldn't sit. And try and keep this stable. So we're not using the body to do it, we're just using the leg. So that means we only, that's it. And go there. Yeah. Alright. Otherwise we get a lot more movement, and that's what we're using here instead of using here. Sorry for the hands on, just to help you. Alright, last few, sweeping it forward, and heel going back. Last 2, forward and back. Last one, forward and back. Okay, relax that leg, tap it out, massage it out. If you want to roll onto your back in between, you're welcome to. Take a little bit of movement or a little bit of a stretch. And then we're going to do that work on the other leg, to balance things out. Alright. So again, just listen to the body on this side. If it feels more comfortable on this shoulder to have the arm extended and rest the head down on the upper arm, that's fine. Or if you want to be on the forearm, just make sure the elbow's underneath the shoulder. We're lifting through the side of the body. We're trying not to relax the rib cage down. If you need the block underneath it just to lift the ribs in line, do that. Both legs are bent to start us off, knees stacked, ankles stacked, and trying to find that alignment, shoulder, hip, and ankle. So we're bringing the knees quite far forward on the front of the mat. Pointing the toes or flexing the feet, and we're starting with our clams, opening the top knee, and slowly lowering it down. So again, remember in these ones, gravity can just help the legs just to slide right down to the other leg. We want to control it. We want to control the lift and control the lower. So that'll make the muscles shake just a little bit, make them work a little harder, but that's what we're aiming for. Lifting and lowering. And we point or flex the feet just to get lots more activity through all the small muscles of the legs. Alright, let's go for our last 5 regular clams. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Alright, relax that leg, tap it out, shake it out. And then we're adding our leg extension. So we're still in the clams, leg still bent. And this time it's open the knee, extend the leg, feet touch, knees touch. Open the knee, extend the leg, feet touch, knees touch. Open, extend, feet touch, knees touch. Remember, point the toe or flex the foot if you can to get that nice bit of extra activity, getting real bang for your buck in all of these movements. All right, let's go for last 3. Feeling the Pilates cramps. Last 2.
When do we flex our foot?
Keep it pointed or flexed, whichever you prefer.
Either way.
Yeah, either one. That'll just make the leg nice and active. Was that our last one? Or one for good measure? Open the knee, extend the leg, feet touch, knees touch. Okay, relax the leg, tap it out. I don't know about Greg, but I, as a Pilates teacher, definitely don't always count. So, you know, if I say 2 twice, don't mind me, it's just that I've lost count. I'm thinking about the next activity that we're going to do. Okay, then we are coming to our feet raised clams. Isn't that right? Yeah? That was the one we were doing next. Feet are off the floor, but they're staying pointed. They're staying together, and then we're lifting through the top knee and lowering down. Lifting and lowering, getting a nice bit of rotation in that hip, but trying to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other. That's it. Again, this is another one to challenge that stability. Flex the feet if that feels better, yeah. Okay. Sometimes keeping them pointed, you can just start to, especially if you're not used to it, you can start to get cramps. Potassium might be a little short on. Might make sure you take some electrolytes later today. Okay. Last 3, last 2, last 1. We worked into those hips really strongly there. Now to let that leg shake out, tap out, whatever you need to do. And then our little paintbrush to finish it off. So taking the leg to about hip height, toe to come forward, heel to come back, nice and slow and controlled, toe and heel. As we take the leg back, pressing it back towards the back line of your mat, really engaging the hamstrings and the glutes, maybe even taking a little pause as you press it back. Well done, really activating the back line of the leg.
Is it that leg straight or bent?
When you take it, the bottom leg is still bent, yeah. Yeah, that's just for extra stability. Okay, forward and back. Let's go for last 3 and back. Last 2 and back. Last 1 and back. All right, shake it out, tap it out, anything you need to do. If you want to lie onto your back for a moment, we are going to be moving to our belly next, but you're welcome to lie onto your back for a moment if you need to do some movement, do some stretching, whatever the body's calling for. All right, we'll take 1 block towards the top of our mat as well for our front lying work, so just make sure there's one towards your head, maybe taking your heads towards me so that you can just see me as we're doing our front lying work. So as we lie down onto our belly, we're going to start with swan dive this morning. So we're drawing our elbows in towards our rib cage, our hands are underneath our shoulders, and in this one, when we come down to lying on our front, we're trying not to lift the chest and flare the rib cage. So drawing your rib cage down towards your hips still, so your body and your face is really only hovering above the mat, but your body is as flat as you can make it. Trying to bring your pelvis into that neutral position again, your hip bones and your pubic bone pressing down as much as you can towards the mat in that even distribution. You should feel no tension in the lower back. The glutes should be generally relaxed until we activate the legs in a second. And any other little cues I need to remind you of? Oh yeah, once we start to move, we're taking our gaze straight down to the mat, so we're really thinking about that nice long neck again. We're going to be keeping our head looking down until, like, if you need to look up while I'm settling you in, that's obviously fine. Let's take a moment to just adjust the legs as well. So bringing the heels into the center of the mat and pointing the toes or flexing the feet. So the legs are just rolling inwards, toes to the outer edges, heels towards the center. So that'll just mean that the legs are stable on the ground, and when we point or flex them, they just feel a little bit more supported on the mat. All right, as I said, hands under the shoulders, elbows drawing in. We have a little marble underneath our nose for a little analogy on this one. The marble is going to roll away up your mat, all the way up the wall in front of you, and then you're going to roll that marble all the way back underneath your nose. So this is swan dive prep. It's just the getting ready for the full swan dive in a few weeks' time. All right. So looking down at your mat, the marble is underneath your nose. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze forward, roll that marble up the wall. Press your belly button back towards the spine. Inhale. Exhale, slowly control, rolling all the way back down. Bring that marble back under your nose. We're going for 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, roll that marble all the way up the wall. Press your belly back towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, slowly rolling back down. As we come up into the lift, the arms can stay bent, or you can start to extend them fully, whichever is feeling better for you. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, slowly lower down. Last one. I'm just going to watch you for this one. Inhale, exhale, lift. Be careful of the shoulders. Lift through the crown of the head. Lovely. Inhale. Exhale, slowly roll all the way back down. Okay, take a little moment, stack the hands, maybe bend the knees, sway the feet. Release any tension that was starting to creep in. Right, we're going to go for single leg kicks next. The body can stay on the mat if you'd like to, and we're just working the legs here. I'll just show you the legs and then I'll just show you the other option for the upper body. So for single leg kicks, if you haven't done it before, it's heel into the glute for 2 pulses and lower the leg back down. Heel in, 2 pulses, lower back down. So that's the leg movement. As I said, body can stay here, or you can come into that sphinx position where the forearms are on the mat, the elbows are still drawing in towards your rib cage, and we're trying to lift the belly off the mat, trying to lift the pelvis off the mat as well. So we're just really resting on the upper thighs. Grow tall through the crown of the head. Keep breathing here, and then you start to pulse your heel in towards your glute, heel in towards the glute. So our gaze is down towards our mat, trying not to overextend through our neck. Keep the gaze downwards. Keep breathing. Really nice. And if we're in this lifted position, just keep pressing your belly button back towards your spine as well. Keep the front of the body engaged. Keep your rib cage down towards your hips. As I said earlier, getting bang for your buck, everything feeling engaged in these movements. Working our hamstrings and our glutes in this one. Okay, let's go for last 3 on this leg. Last 3 here. Last 2. Last 2. Last 1. Last 1. All right, slowly lower down if you were lifted. Stack the hands, bend the knees, sway the legs. All right, we're going to be using our block for swimming today. So it'll help us with our alignment of our arms. So just making sure you have the block in front of you. The arms are coming out from the shoulders, reaching up towards that block. Just be careful now as we bring the arms up that we don't flare the ribs. So keep the ribs pressing down towards the hips. Keep that front of the body pressed towards the mat. And keep your little lift of the head just an inch or 2 above the mat. Gaze will be down towards the mat once we start. For swimming, for our lead up to our full swimming, we're lifting the upper body for 3 sets, the legs for 3 sets, then we'll lift upper body and legs for 3, and then we'll start with the movement on the last one. We'll be dropping the block by the time we get to that one. Okay, so pressing the block between your 2 palms, you're on the pinky edge of your fingers and arms. And then when you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Inhale, exhale, slowly lower back down. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, pressing into the block, press your belly button back. Inhale, exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Lovely. You can keep the block in the hands. We're just going to work the legs for the next 3. Inhale, exhale, lift the legs, point the toes, flex the feet. Inhale, exhale, lower. 2 more with the legs. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Lovely. Arms and legs are going together for this 3. Okay, and then I'll give you a little bit of movement before we go to our full swimming. All right, when you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, lift the arms, lift the legs. Inhale, exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, and exhale, lower. Well done. Let go of the block. If you want to take a little bit of gentle movement before we come to the full swimming, you're welcome to. So for full swimming, if you haven't done it before, we're lifting back up into that lifted position, and then we're starting moving opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping the body nice and steady, and we're going to be breathing. The breath in this one is inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. We're going to do 5 rounds of breath. If you need to come down before those 5 are finished, slowly lower your body down to the mat. I don't want to see collapsing down because I don't want any injuries. Okay, when you're ready, extend the arms again, extend the legs, gently rolling the heels inwards if we had forgotten about that. Point the toes or flex the feet. Take your inhale, exhale, lift, and then start to move opposite arm, opposite leg, nice and slow. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly let the body come back down. Stack the hands, bend the knees. Any little bit of movement you want to do here. We just got one left on our belly and then we're done with this front part. We all feeling okay? I'm feeling my breath in that one. Okay. Do we need our block for this last one? No, we're okay. All right, we're going to finish with plank and leg pull. So I've been doing this one in the last couple of classes. If you haven't done it before, I'll just give you a quick run through. So you're either in a full plank with the arms extended and you're starting here, or you're in forearm plank and you're starting here. Either way, we want to have the pelvis in line with the shoulders, creating a nice long line with the body. And then for leg pull, we're lifting the heel, 2 pulses, lifting the heel, 2 pulses. What we're trying not to do is having a lot of movement in the body. So trying to keep the body nice and steady. Keep the chest pressed away from the mat. Keep breathing in your position. Or obviously like this as well. All right. So we're going to go for a count of 8. We're not holding it for too long. When we're in plank, hold the control, but don't hold your breath. That's the main tip. Okay, wherever you're going to, either full plank or forearm plank, find your positioning and then starting to lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, slowly come down. We'll all find a child's pose for a moment. Take the knees nice and wide, reach the fingers forward. Or bring the knees together and wrap the arms down around the legs. If the arms are starting to feel a bit tired, we've worked them quite a bit there now in our front lying work. So maybe we're feeling it in the arms today. I'm definitely feeling my Irish accent is coming out in today's class for some reason. Pilates brings it out of me. Okay.
Can you help me with my plank alignment once we start doing it?
Yeah, we'll have some time at the end. We can have a quick run over it. Yeah, no problem. We're going to make our way to seated whenever you're ready. And again, we'll keep a block beside our mat. We're just going to be using one block in some of these seated postures today. Okay, as you come up to seated, we're taking the legs just hip width apart, so a little space between the thighs and between the feet. We're going to flex the feet and keep the legs nice and active. We're sitting up onto our sit bones. The body is nice and tall. We're thinking about that little invisible thread drawing us up out of the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders or give them a little roll, maybe to bring your shoulder blades a little further down your back. But as we do that, just be careful now that we're not flaring our ribs, we're not dumping into our lower back. Press your rib cage still down towards your hips. We're still keeping the belly engaged, still pressing your belly button back towards your spine. We're starting with spine stretch. We're going to start with our block in our hands. So the block is just reminding you to keep your arms shoulder width apart. You can press into the block gently if you like to activate the arms just a little bit. You're feeling that all the way along the arm. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, nice and long through the neck. Shoulder blades are flat on the mat. Are flat on the back. Okay, we're going to go for 4 spine stretch. Remember, spine stretch is just rounding from the base of the rib cage to the top of the head. The lower part of our spine and our pelvis and legs are staying as neutral as possible. Take your inhale. And then exhale, reach that block forward, rounding through the top of the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, restack through the body. Think about spine, shoulders, neck, and head. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward, lengthen out through the crown of the head and through the block. Inhale. Exhale, restack. Nice and slowly, restacking the body. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward, round through the top of the head, through the top of the back. Goodness me. Inhale, exhale, restack. There's me thinking about the head and that comes out of my mouth. Okay, last one. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, round through the top of the back, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, restack. All right, drop the block for a moment, relax the shoulders, and maybe give the legs a little shake out too. if we've been keeping the legs nice and active in that one, the feet flexed and the legs nice and supported on the mat, we will be feeling it in the legs as well once we stop. So we're going to continue with one last round of our spine stretch. Today we're just going to add in a little bit of movement for the shoulders. So when we reach forward into our spine stretch this time, we're going to open one arm, bring it back towards the back of our mat, and then bring it back to reach for our block. We're going to do the other arm, bring it back, and then we'll draw all the way back up. We're going to go for 3 of these. Do I need to adjust the temperature? Are we feeling a bit warm? No? We're okay? Okay, cool. All right. So it's reaching forward, we're pausing there, but keep breathing, and then we're rotating through. We'll start with the left arm, then the right arm, then we'll come all the way back up to seated, okay? When you're ready, take an inhale, exhale, reach forward with your block, round through the top of the back. Start with your left arm, bringing it back towards the back of your mat. Bring that left hand back to your block. Right arm rotates back, reaching it back towards the block. Inhale, and then exhale, restack the body. Okay, 2 more. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, left arm back, bring it back to the block, right arm back, bring it back to the block. Inhale, exhale, restack. Last one, inhale, exhale, reach forward. Don't forget about the legs now, flex the feet, keep the legs nice and active, reach the left arm back, and back to the block, right arm back, back to the block. Take an inhale, exhale, restack. Okay, those arms working hard. Relax the shoulders, drop your block for a moment. We're going to come to some C curves next. So C curve, you can do it with the legs flat on the mat, or you can have the legs bent, and feel free to change that option, whichever option you choose first. You can always change it as we're moving through. We're going to start with our block again in our hands. We're going to be using it just for that body awareness. So C curve, if you haven't done it before, we're rounding from the crown of the head to the tailbone for this one. We're wanting to create a lovely C shape with our spine. So we're rolling back as far as we can before we roll down. We're taking a pause and an inhale, and then we exhale, restack all the way up to that tall position. So again, the legs are nice and active. If we want to do it with the legs bent, it just looks like this. We roll back, we take our inhale, and then we exhale, restack. And trying to think about restacking the spine, pelvis, back, shoulders, neck and head. Think about restacking a nice slow progression. Okay, we're going to go for 4 regular C curves first. Take your inhale, exhale, round through the spine, roll back just to the point that you'll roll down. Take an inhale, exhale, restack. Pelvis, spine, shoulders, neck and head. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, curve the back, roll down, pause, take your inhale, exhale, restack all the way back up. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, round and roll, pause, inhale, exhale, coming back up. Last one. Inhale, exhale, round the back, pause, inhale, exhale, restack. Lovely. Drop the block for a moment, shake the body out again. We're going to go for our roll downs next. Full roll downs are basically your C curve, but we're going all the way to the mat this time. And then once we come back up to seated, we're adding our spine stretch, and then we're restacking. So it's 2 moves put together. Will I do one just for people who haven't done it before? So we start in our seated position. I like to keep my legs flat on the mat, and I like to point my feet just to create a little bit more stability in the legs and a counterbalance for our upper body. So we roll down, we're creating that C shape with our spine. We're rolling all the way down as slow as you can. That's the challenge if you've been doing it a few weeks now. Take your time coming down, really work your abdominals, head down, arms come overhead. We take an inhale with the arms to the sky, and then we exhale, peel our body up. Try and come up 1 vertebrae at a time rather than jumping up. Come back to seated, take your inhale, exhale, spine stretch. Inhale, exhale, restack. We're going to go for 4 of these. If they start to feel like they're too much, just come back to your C curves that we were just doing a moment ago. Once you come back up to seated, add your spine stretch and come back up. Alright, so you have 2 options if the full roll down doesn't feel good this morning. So legs slightly hip width apart, point the toes or flex the feet if you prefer. Starting in your seated position, take your inhale, exhale, C curve into the spine, slowly controlling your roll down all the way down to the mat. Head is down, arms are on the mat. Take an inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, peel yourself up one vertebra at a time off the mat, all the way up to seated. Take an inhale, exhale, spine stretch. Inhale, exhale, restack. Lovely. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Nice and slowly, control the lowering all the way down to the mat. Head is down, arms come to the mat. Take an inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, coming all the way up to seated. Nice and slow. Well done. Press in with the legs. When you're at seated, take an inhale. Exhale, spine stretch, round through the top of the spine. Inhale. Exhale, restack. We've got 2 left. Inhale. Exhale, rolling down. Control the descent with your abdominals. Nice and slow. Keep relaxed at the same time. A lot of tension I'm seeing in faces. Once the head is down, arms are on the mat, take an inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale as you draw your body up, try and control it, press the legs in to the mat. That's it. Use that pointed toe. Come up to seated. Inhale, exhale, stretch. Inhale and exhale, restack. Last one. Inhale, exhale, rolling down. Rolling down. Head is down, arms are on the mat. Take an inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, drawing up. All the way up to seated. Nice and tall with the spine. Inhale, exhale, spine stretch. Inhale, exhale, restack. Well done. Relax the body, shake it out, move it out, whatever you need to do. We're nearly done. You feeling okay? All right, lots of challenge this morning. You're doing great, guys. Okay, we're going to just bring our blocks under our feet. We're going to do some leg lifts, but we're just going to have a little bit of extra challenge, a little extra elevation. So the heels are on your blocks. Again, we're sitting up nice and tall. We don't want to flare the ribs. We don't want to dump into the lower back. We want to engage the belly, engage the rib cage down towards the hips, relax the shoulders. So leg lifts, we're just lifting the leg. If it feels too much to have the block underneath, obviously take the blocks back out. The hands can be just gently at the side of the body on the mat, or you can bring the hands to the waist if you think you've got the stability. What I don't want to see is the body rolling back. You want to keep nice and tall, keep your belly engaged. So if that means that the blocks move out of the way and you just come back to a lower lift, that's also fine. Just giving you a little bit of extra challenge. All right. Relax the shoulders nice and tall through the crown of the head. Let's go for 3 more in this leg. 3 more. 2, 2, last one, last one. All right. Take a little moment. You can take the feet off the blocks for a second. We're coming back to that in one last minute. We're just going to add in a little seated twist to our leg lifts. So if we're using the blocks, it's going to look like this. Maybe the hands come to across the chest. So as we twist, I'll twist towards you first. We're lifting left leg as we twist to the left, back to center, right leg as we twist to the side. If you want me to show you without the blocks as well, we're lifting and twisting, lifting and twisting. So try again not to collapse into the body. We're trying to stay up nice and tall. It's just a twist from the bottom of the ribs to the top of the head, so the rest of the body stays nice and secure. The leg lift is optional. If we're just finding that it's too much to do both, just come back to the twist. Just twisting to each side. Okay? All right, a few different options. If you're joining me for the leg lift, we're twisting and lifting, twisting and lifting. Nice and tall through the spine. Lift and twist. Maybe point the toes or flex the feet as well for that extra little bit of work in the legs. Feeling those hip flexors, those quads working. Well done. Last 3 on this side. Last 3 on this side. Last 2. Last 2. Last 1. Last 1. All right, relax the legs, relax the body. If you want to roll down onto your back for a minute to give the body a little bit of movement or a stretch out, you're welcome to. We're going to be finishing with a little bit of standing work, and then we're going to stretch out the body. I think that's a lot of the hard work done. I think you guys worked a bit harder there as well because I didn't do the lift off the blocks for the last set. I forgot to put them back under. But anyway, all right. Whenever you've done a little bit of movement or stretch, we're going to make our way up to standing. We're going to finish with our roll downs. Nice little bit of movement for our spine. We started with our roll down, our bridge massage of the spine. Then this time we're going to do that kind of massage of the spine in a standing manner as well, just to have that different dimensions for our body. So the feet are hip width apart. We'll stand towards the back of our mat. The first 2 roll downs, we're just going to do regular roll downs, and on the third one we're going to walk our hands out. I'll just do a demonstration of the last roll down with the walkout. So we'll be doing 2 of these regular roll downs. We'll do them all together in a second. So we're lifting up, we're imagining there's a little fence in front of our rib cage. We're trying to bring our belly and our chest over that fence. So we scoop the belly, scoop the chest, bend the knees, and we bring the hands all the way down to the mat. We're doing 2 of these. We're going to be rolling back up on the other 2. But this last one, we're going to walk the hands out 1, 2, 3. We're going to find a plank or a knees down plank. And we're going to do 3 press ups of your choice. Then we'll walk the hands back 1, 2, 3. We'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, we'll restack the body all the way back up to alignment. So 2 regular roll downs, and then on the third one, we're doing those walkouts. Okay, feet hip width apart. Relax the shoulders, still drawing the ribs down towards the hips, still engage the belly. We're still in Pilates mode, we haven't left that yet. Take the arms overhead. As you raise the arms, be careful you didn't flare the ribs, be careful you didn't raise the shoulders. Take your inhale, exhale, dive up and over that fence, scoop the belly, lift the chest, bend the knees, really rounding into the spine. Take your hands down towards the mat, take an inhale, exhale, draw your body back up, restacking the spine 1 vertebrae at a time. All the way back up to extension. Take an inhale, exhale, rounding through the body, through the spine, bending the knees, hands reach the floor. Take an inhale, exhale, restack the body, all the way back up. This last one now is the one with the walkout. Take an inhale, exhale, dive up and over, scoop the belly, scoop the chest, bend the knees, hands reach the mat, walk out 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Stay on the toes or drop to the knees. 3 press ups. 1, 2, 3. Walk the hands back. 1, 2, and 3. Bend the knees. Take an inhale. Exhale. Restack the body all the way back up. Okay. Let the arms come down. Give a roll of the shoulders. We still have a little bit of time. We're just going to finish off with some arms today, seeing as we've had a little bit extra. Okay, so we'll take the feet hip width apart. Be comfortable in your stance. Maybe just stagger yourselves so that you have enough space to move the arms. Okay, we're going to do our little sparklers and our beach balls to finish off, just to finish off those arms fully, because we've done a little bit of work with the arms throughout our practice today, but you know, just get the last little bit of muscles popping. Okay, so the sparklers, if you haven't met them before, we're keeping the body in that nice Pilates alignment, keeping the ribs down towards the hips. The hands are going to start down by our hips, expand through the palm, spread the fingers nice and wide, and then we're making small circular shapes, like you've got 2 little sparklers in your hands. As we circle, we're drawing the arms up, keep the shoulder blades on the back, keep the shoulders relaxed, taking the arms as high as feels comfortable, and then we reverse the circle at the top and we slowly bring the arms back down. The knees can be just gently soft here, they don't have to be fully locked out, but keep breathing, keep the body in alignment, belly button back towards your spine, shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades staying on the back of the body. Inhale as you bring the hands up, maybe you take a couple of breaths and then you bring the hands back down. Okay, really expanding through the palms, stretching through the fingers, get all of those small muscles working in the arms. We're going to go for 2 last sets, rotating up and back down. When we get to the bottom, we've just got 1 set left. Keep that tension in the arms, lock out the elbows, last one, all the way up. Feeling those shoulders, yeah? Circle, reverse, and back down. Okay. When you reach the bottom, shake out the arms, roll the shoulders, shake out the body if we're having any tension there. And we're going to finish with our beach balls. So the beach balls, I like to bring a little bit more movement in the body in this one, just to get a little bit of movement in the pelvis now as we start to slow down. So I like to keep the knees soft in this one. The feet are maybe just a little wider than hip width apart. And as we move in this one, you might like to add that movement of the pelvis. I'll just demonstrate that part just so that you know where you're going. You can always keep the body steady if you want to as well. So we're imagining we've got 2 big beach balls in our arms. We're going to spread the fingers wide again to really hold those beach balls nice and tight. And then we're rotating our hands to the top of the beach balls, and then all the way to the bottom of the beach balls. And this is where we can start to add in that little bit of movement of the pelvis. As we open the arms, we tilt our pelvis forward, and then bring it back to tilting it backwards, tilting it forwards and back. As we just open through the arms, pressing the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. So imagining you're just bringing your arms all around those beach balls. And keeping those fingers nice wide spread to get that little bit of extra activity in the arms. Last little bit, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. Last 2. And to the bottom. Last 1. All the way up and all the way back down. Okay, relax the body. Time to stretch it out, shake it out. Okay, feet hip width apart. We'll stretch into the side of the body first. Take an inhale, take your arms to meet at the top. Take your exhale to lean to the right. Stretch the side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, back to center. We'll do that one more time each side. To the right as you exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. Drop the arms. Roll the shoulders forward and back. Relax out the body a little bit more. Okay, take the feet a little wider now. Soften the knees again. And we're just going to try and loosen out the body, shake it out a little bit more. So we're twisting to look over each shoulder. The arms are nice and heavy here. Relax all of the body. Maybe we're swaying into the legs as well as we sway to look over the shoulder. Look as far over your shoulder as feels comfortable with your head. Get a little stretch into the neck as we rotate. And the arms can move as much as you like. You can really shake out the arms, shake out the hands. We're trying to release the tension that we had in our body. Last 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Slowly come back to the center. Take a moment if you need to find your gaze. Okay, bring the feet back a little narrower. And then we'll just stretch out the neck a little bit as well. So we'll take our chin towards our right shoulder first. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Chin back towards center. Chin to your left shoulder. Stretch out the side of the neck. Back to center. We'll do that one more time each side. To the right. Back to center. To the left. And back to center. Now this time we're taking our chin towards the sky. We're trying to stretch out the front of the neck and the chest. So be careful with the back of the neck. Try and lengthen the chin upwards with a length at the back of the neck. Chin down towards your chest. Lengthen the back of the neck this time and stretching out that shoulder and neck area. We'll go for one more time each direction. Chin towards the sky, lifting and lengthening through the neck and opening the front of the chest and the front of the neck. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Lengthen and stretch the back of the neck. Okay, chin back to center. And then we're dropping right ear to right shoulder. Keep your shoulder relaxed. Maybe lift through the left hand slightly to deepen that stretch. That's always just an option. Head back to center. Left ear, left shoulder. Maybe lift the right arm. Back to center. We'll do that one more time each side. Right ear, right shoulder. Back to center. Left ear, left shoulder. And back to center. Okay, a couple of last rolls of the shoulders in both directions. Any other last little shakes or stretches that the body might need? You can listen to your body now if there's anything else it needs before you finish. You're welcome to spend a few minutes here. I'm going to press stop on the recording, but I'm here if there's any questions. I know there was one question about Pilates, plank alignment, so we can work on that for a second if you like. And if there's any other questions or concerns, always come and have a chat with me.